Colliers will be here, and he is, doing a great job. He's on top of everything. He's keeping a really good track of, the budget, the process, and communicating with the committee members, myself, and Dr. Cook. So, that maybe that's the first point I want to make is, I think we really picked a really good team, the architectural firm, the owner's rep, and the engineering firm that we have, and the commissioning agent hasn't really got involved yet. But I know that they're solid. And the contractor that we have picked, or the construction management firm, all real solid and working it out. So they've done what I call the preliminary phase, where they met with the teachers and they did the design, and then they did the original budget. Of course, not building for a while, the escalation costs are concerning, so there is a gap in the budget versus what the estimate is, and we'll go over that tonight. And we'll go over some of the areas that we're trying to tighten to make it work. But I don't think we need to get into those details. We'll have more tonight at the board meeting. I just wanted to go over the big picture. I think it's going very well. I'm very confident that, we'll meet the schedule, meet the time, and we'll make it work. I think there'll be some pain involved in reducing some of the things and making it happen, but I'm very confident. The chairman, has been doing this for a long time, so he's very focused on making it happen. So, hopefully, next winter we'll be bidding it out, with construction starting in the spring of 24, and I expect to be in 25. That's the plan. I don't think anybody's talking about anything else but that. So,
Can I just ask, the wetlands walk was last weekend?
yes,
That went well
yes. So the wetlands walk was for the tennis courts,
okay,
and the tennis courts is at the Polson School.
okay,
It's all right, you can go in any order. That did go well. The tennis court went on Saturday, they walked Saturday morning. And then they had the hearing or the review. It wasn't a public hearing, it was just a regular meeting that they had to review the application, and they approved it with some conditions. That seems pretty minor, the conditions, some silt fence and adding some precautions, which seem very reasonable. I don't see any concerns about that. So we have the wetlands approval for the tennis courts. We're going to the planning and zoning on the 19th for a public hearing for the tennis courts. Still, part of the plan are the lights. Whether you put them in or not is a question. We don't have it fully funded. And the bids came back, of course, more than we expected. The escalation cost was more than we anticipated. We're trying to negotiate with the low bidder to see if we can get within our budget. And I'm talking with Peggy to see if we can figure out how to make it work. So we haven't agreed yet on the reduction of the scope, or if we can find some more funds, but that's my goal, is to continue to working with the contractor, Board of Selectmen, to award it through the Board of Selectmen. I'll keep you guys posted. We had 3 bids. The local bidder was a local gentleman who grew up in his whole family went to school in Madison, Hinging. And so, I'm optimistic that we can make it work, and we won't get all the things that we wanted, but hopefully we'll get the 6 tennis courts. It'll be concrete, so they won't have the cracking like we had before, and I think we'll have a fine product. I'm optimistic that we'll make it work. So also, I'll stick right with Polson if you would like. The lockers, of course, have been ordered, and I anticipate them coming early enough that we'll be able to put them together off-site, and we'll start the day school is over. So we should, unless there's some kind of major issue, we ordered the plenty time. There's no issue with them. It should be on time. It should be installed this summer.
great.
The other Polson project is the mechanical system. I don't know if you heard, but we did get a grant. This town got a grant for $1 million to go towards the generator. The VI company, the engineering firm that we hired, is working diligently to come up with the 3 different plans, of how we can do the new HVAC system, with geothermal being one of them. That wasn't totally funded. Had a traditional system when we put the money in for the referendum. We did not have a GEO, so we're gonna look at the three different ways. GEO is gonna be one of them. What other opportunities and savings can we get with these grants and rebate programs? So once we have all that information, I plan on bringing it to this facility committee for review and discussion. I anticipate a recommendation, but ultimately I'll be looking for some input from you when I have something to bring to you. So I'm hoping that will be the end of the month, February at the latest, and more to come. So those are the Polson projects. Jumping back to the Brown School. Yeah, I went out of order.
No, you just have that question.
Yep. Yeah, I went to the new school and then I jumped to Polson and now I'm going back to the Brown K1 East Wing.
Yep.
WJ Montford is the contractor that we awarded it to. They came in over the break. They did measurements, they're fine tuning what they need to order so they can get the stuff ordered so we can get it ready for the summer. I think the plans Tecton did the plans. I think they're very clear. I don't think there's any issues and concerns. I think right now they really jumped on it. They're ordering material and getting going and very excited about that process. We have a really good firm and with an architectural firm, and the Colliers, of course, is helping me with the process. Additionally, we're looking at expanding their scope to things that we can try to do for this summer. And once again, I'll bring that to you once I have a list and a scope and we agree on what we can do and what it will cost. I'm going to bring it to this committee for review and hopefully I'll have a recommendation and we can make an action. So on Monday, the 16th, Tecton is going to send a team of people out. We're going to look at the issues that I have requested them to look at that I think are reasonable for us to try to do this summer. Are the front office. I think we can do some, renovation of the front office without a lot of, major construction. The bathroom that's outside the office, the main office, we'd like to try to improve that with better access for maybe electric doors. We're going to look into how we can get it to be a little more user friendly. And then the third thing that we'd like to look at is all the other classrooms. We call them millwork. The cabinets from 1970 that we've been ripping out because they're just look so bad. We haven't been able to put them back. Tecton's going to help us come up with a plan. And we might not be able to do it all this summer, but at least maybe we'll start with a plan, see what we can do to improve the classrooms to, with the understanding that we're going to be a K-5. What can we do this summer? We'll start with a plan. How many, get 10 rooms done? Can we get 5 rooms done? What can we do? What funds do we have available? What can we do? So those three, we agreed, are reasonable to try to get done this summer. They're going to hit it hard on Monday because nobody's going to be in the school. Do all their measurements, come back with a plan, some estimates. I'm hoping at your next meeting I have an update with a plan, and a strategy. So that is exciting stuff. I think that we can try to add to the summer list, which I'm optimistic we can do some of those for sure. How much? Yeah. Any questions on Brown School?
Going back to the Polson,
Yes.
where did the $1 million come from?
So thank you. So the town applied for some kind of grant, and I should know it, but I don't.
It's a federal grant.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Federal grant.
The grants that were approved by the government on like December 23rd this year, there's some major rounds in Madison. We see 2 grants.
2 grants. One for
The town.
$1 million for the generator, and I think $1 million plus for the emergency operations center. Because this is our emergency operations center. It's in that closet. They drag it out. It conflicts with our meetings. And there's a lot of equipment in there that they're going to take over this room. So I think they're looking for a permanent location. So I think they're working something out with the firehouse.
Yeah.
And, that's pretty exciting, because they,
That helps.
well, they got most of the money. I think they need a little bit. We still need to raise a lot more money to get the generator. I looked the numbers over today, and we still were a little ways apart from the million. We need a little more, so.
But it helps. $1 million is a big drop in the bucket.
Yes, it's a big number. So we're still working on the details, on that.
Thanks.
No problem. So new school, Brown School, Polson, any question on any of those?
I actually do have a question, and
Sure.
this is a representative question,
Sure.
and it's really more of a comment, and again, it's representative. I'm not making any assertions or claims. I heard from a teacher in the community that he or she was concerned about the size of the specials classrooms in the new school design. And didn't know whether that was gonna be adequate or not. I think especially with music.
I could definitely get back to you on that, because the Tecton guys, I don't even know if Adam will be able to answer that. The Tecton guys will be able to tell you what the size of the specials are, how they relate to the 10 other schools they did, and, what they are. I can get that answered for you. And you might even be able to ask them tonight.
Yeah.
But if not, if they don't answer it tonight, I will definitely respond to you. The specials.
Thanks.
So, and I'm thinking that special ed, right? Or is he talking about?
No, I think like music, art.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I wouldn't even know what you're talking about.
Related arts, yeah,
Arts,
the specials.
art, music.
Yeah.
Band.
STEAM.
Well, it was
Oh, there's no-
especially in comparison to the STEAM and
Oh, it's like the
fabrication
fine arts.
or makerspace. Yeah, they want to make sure that there's going to be
Music,
equal
art,
and adequate space.
Music, art, band. I put STEAM and makerspace, because I know that they know those. I know. God, it used to be shop and tech ed.
Right,
Yeah.
home ec.
Yeah, oh man.
Yeah.
I remember
I
sewing class.
Mhm.
I learned how to do the best. And cook.
Yep.
Make pizzas.
Thank you. That's all I have for questions.
No problem.
Some bathrooms?
Polson bathrooms. So we have a significant amount of money in our plan for renovating the Polson bathrooms. They're 1960s, they're clean and usable and safe, but, they're retired. So we need a plan, because it's probably moving walls, opening doorways, really significant renovation like we're doing at Brown School. So we need a plan. So, Colliers is helping me with an RFP, to have that out this month or the next, get an architectural firm on board. We have funding for this in the CIP for the engineering and planning. And, once we get that, we can go to the next stage, come up with some designs, run it by the principals, make sure everyone likes what we're doing, show how they comply, and then finalize the numbers, and maybe have a stage. And we also broke the money out into 3 or 4 years in the CIP plan, so we need to come up with a phasing plan, which bathrooms are first, which are second. And go from there. So I'll keep you updated once we get the RFP out, selection process, and the timeframe. We don't plan on doing any work, and we don't have the funds to do the work yet. That's future.
Yeah.
Stage lighting, high school stage lighting. We should have the bids out the next week or two. The understanding is the lights are available, there shouldn't be any lead time issues, and we should get it done this summer.
Great.
That's what I'm being told. I think the BL company, who's doing the design, they're on top of it. I think I'm very confident that they know what they're doing, and they're very detail oriented. They met with the users of the facility. I really think, I think we're gonna get a really good product. Spending a lot of time, visiting and checking it out, so I'm very happy about that. The last item on the agenda that I have is the roof unit at the school, RT number 7. You know, the part, is ordered, it should come in at the end of the month. As soon as it comes in, I will do what I can to put it in without disrupting, staff, students as soon as possible. Talking about a crane and, getting up there and then, the crane and working on the roof isn't the issue, is, moving this big piece of equipment and putting it in place and the banging and the noise might be a little bit of a problem. So coordinating that's gonna be an issue. The positive is that we have perimeter heat. This is, we have two kinds of heat. We have the perimeter heat and then we have the heat that, blows through the rooftop unit. So seems like we're doing okay with the perimeter heat. We can turn it up. So unfortunately, it's just taking time to get it.
With the holiday weekend over there, I think there's a
February.
holiday in February, would that be a good time to?
That's my plan.
Yeah.
But we don't have it yet, so I'm not,
Yeah.
until I have it, I'm not gonna come up with a plan.
Yeah.
But I definitely thinking that. Yeah. So unless there's any questions about any facility stuff, I think, we're chugging along. We got a lot of projects. We got a lot of stuff working. We have a lot of good, talented help, which is important. And, the schools themselves, I think, are doing well. I minimal issues or concerns. We always have things that break and we're on top of it. We'll address it as they come, but I don't, our funding's short, we're tight on utilities. We usually have utilities, but we're not, we're concerned about our utilities because of the gas prices. We were short in supplies, we're short in trash. Those, we're tight this year and, it is what it is. We'll get by. And repairs have been costly. Repairs account is, nil. And we'll make it through. We do have reserves. We have contingencies in our things that are nice to have versus things that we need to have. So we won't do the things we'd like to have until we get to the bottom, get to the finish line. And that has to do with what we do at Brown School too. How much funding we have left over, what can we do with Brown? We need to get to the summertime. But if we have a plan and nothing goes wrong, we move to the summertime project.
Any questions from the committee on any of those or any other items?
Got any updates, Bill, on charging stations for cars?
So yes, Peggy and I met with a company that's in relationship with our COG. I think it's it's either COG or South Central Connecticut Council of Governments, one of those that has a consortium kind of deal, and they're helping us look at locations. The schools are not on the list. Funding, isn't as much as we thought, and concerned about not open to the public. So the ones we're looking at are the ones like downtown is like the #1 sites.
Okay.
Built, town vehicle fleets, where we could put the money to town use or downtown where the public can use it more often. Nothing's not on the table, but it seems that those sites are coming up to the top. Yeah.
That's what I know there were questions about access during school hours and so on, so,
Yeah, it's pretty clear, no.
yeah,
You know,
yes, you
during
were,
school,
yeah,
they're not allowed on the school grounds
right,
during school. And then,
yeah.
so that's gonna not be, but even though there's teachers and staff that
Yeah,
have
people
it, so
use it.
we want it open to the staff. So we were excited and optimistic that we were gonna get a ton of money, and we had 13 locations, and we had a big list, and we went out to bid, and it just didn't work out, we couldn't figure out the funding. And we still had to put a lot of money in it. Some of the board members on the other side had questions about how much is it gonna cost us? Because it's gonna cost us, the town, money for them. Will the users pay and cover the cost? you know, it seems like it will, but, you know, it's not crystal clear, and there is some gambling involved, so,
Maybe in the future.
yes, I think it's future stuff. But I don't think there's any plan for the schools in the near future. If that changes or something else comes up, which it does change quite often, we'll find out. I'll keep you posted, and we did put conduit in the ground to, underneath the car canopies, so if we don't have to dig up the driveways to get power out there, we can just run it through the conduit under the ground.
All right.
Yes.
Any other questions? Anything else you need from us, Bill?
I can't think of anything else.
Do we have any public comment today in person or on Zoom? No one on Zoom. Okay. Seeing no objections, we'll adjourn. 7:06.
You're welcome.